Welcome to day 5 of our January challenge, working on the arrangements by Karen Marshall-Say of some music from Sky. And to the end of yesterday, we were working on the first of the set, which was an old Sky air. And today we move into the second piece in the set, Nean Down and Sucre, Maiden Fond of Mirth. And it's a slightly faster speed to the previous part of the set, but we want it nice and gentle. If you're looking at the sheet music, it's really important that you have a really good listen to this one as well, because it's written with these sort of semiquavers, dotted quavers sort of combinations, and I think the effect that actually we want to create, and I've been talking to Karen on this, is that it's like, well, this is my interpretation, it's like a grace note happening on the beat. So these semiquavers that you see, or 16th notes, are really quick. The key note is the dotted quaver. That's kind of obvious that the key note will be the longer note, but at the same time you don't want to sort of be too meticulously mathematical about this is a quarter of the beat and this is 3/4 of that beat, adding up to one full beat. You don't want to hang around on these semiquavers too much. So I'll play you today's section, which is almost to the end of bar 4, and then we'll work on it, and then we'll put it onto the end of yesterday's work as well, because these just flow one into the other. Just a little bit late on that note there, and there's another A to put in, so we'll work on that. So our top hand, finger 2 on the B, thumb on the E, and it's okay. Make sure that's really clean. Then finger 3 on the D, and we're going to swap from the 3 to finger 2 on the same note. Okay, and you want to sort of practice that, and you can practice it slowly. 3 2 3 2 3 2, and you want to build up the speed on that. Okay, really work on that one. Okay, then we go down 3 in a row, B A G. Okay, so from the beginning of that section, 3 and 4. So really fast on these semiquaver notes. Okay, left hand on there, E to D, thumb on the E, finger 2 on the D. And then we've got 2 harmonic notes, it's the A and it's the G. Okay, now doing harmonics, there's different ways you can play left hand harmonics. You could do it the same as you might do a right hand harmonic. Right hand harmonic is where you push your knuckle onto the string at the halfway point, and then you pluck above. Okay, and you can do your left hand ones like that if you like. Karen likes doing those particular 2 harmonics in that same way, because it can be a very clean way of producing it. There's also slightly more standard left hand ways of doing it, whereby you either use the side of your hand or the heel of your thumb, but a nice fleshy part of your hand, and that's the point that pushes onto the string at the halfway point, and then your thumb plucks above. Okay, that's the way I like doing it, which is using the side, or you can use the heel of your thumb. Okay, whichever gets the nicest sound for you, just to show you the equivalent of that in the right hand. Side of the hand plucking above, or fleshy part at the base of your thumb plucking above. Okay, now that feels quite uncomfortable in the right hand, which is why the right hand does it like this. And that fits because the harp's on the shoulder and your arm comes round and you can see really cleanly. With the left hand, because of the position of where the harp is in relation to this arm, it's easier to sort of do these open cups. But like I say, the odd ones in the same way as the right hand can work. So the left hand, E, D, A harmonic, G harmonic. Okay, and you play them exactly where they're written, but the sound happens up here. It creates this bell-like sound an octave higher. Okay, putting that together. 3 and 4. Okay, now don't be confused when I talked about them sounding a little bit like grace notes. Make sure that they are landing on the beat still. So the first note, it's not a grace note, but it's just a similar effect. That's how quick it is. So it's not happening before the beat, it's on the beat. Okay, so it falls exactly how it lines up on the music. 3 and 4. Okay, moving on in this top hand, E, D, thumb on the E, finger 2 on the D, and then 3 on the E, finger 2 on the G, thumb on the B, a triad going up. And before you play the thumb, and there's time here anyway, you're going to get 1 and 2 on, possibly 3 depending how you feel, but then we're going to do 3 in a row. So you can either do that section 1, 2 and 3 placed, and you play the B and the A, and then you put them back on to do the grace notes going to the G, and those are grace notes, so they're definitely ahead of the beat. Or you can place the B and the A, 1, put the thumb back on having played it as you play the A, and then put 2 and 3 on. Okay, so there's 2 different ways of the placing there, and you do what's most comfortable for you. Okay, so putting that bar together, this is the second full bar, 3 and 4 and. Okay, and putting the left hand with that. I would play these first 2 notes with a finger 4 on the G, low G, and finger 2 on the D, even though our thumb's not being used. It stops your hand from having to jump too low down the harp when actually the next place is going to be up here. So I would use 4 and then 2, and then we jump up to either side of the red, finger 2 on the B, thumb on the D, and just play those nicely together, okay? And then it's just the timing to fit in together here. So if I put that with the top hand's on E and D, 3 and 4 and. Okay, so let's put those 2 bars together with that upbeat. So from the beginning of this page, right hand B going up to the E, left hand thumb on the E, finger 2 on the D, 3 and 4. Keep it nice and gentle, don't be too sort of heavy on these notes, keep it light. Okay, moving on, right hand, finger 2 on the B, thumb on the D, and we've got lots of 2 1s in this piece, in this section. Then 2 1, D to E, then G to A, so jump, and then heading down 1 2, G down to E. Okay, so putting that bar together on that right hand, 3 and 4 and. Okay, make sure that the first note is the one that lands on the beat, but that it's very quick, very thrown away. Left hand has jumped up into treble clef, and we just have 4 steady crotchet beats or quarter note beats here. G, put it back on, play the D, put it back on and move down to the C. Okay, personally I would go 1 and 2, G to D, 1 and 3 down to the C, just because 1 G to C is the outer 2 notes of a triad, and I like to swap to a 3rd finger by then. But if you do 1 2 1 2, that's okay. And you may find that more comfortable with what comes next anyway. So putting that together, this 3rd full bar, 3 and 4 and. Okay. Next section, thumb on the D, finger 2 on the B. Okay, and then 4 in a row from the D down to the A. Now, officially what's written there is, but again, we're going to treat those semiquavers as though they're almost grace note length, so dum, da, da, dum, okay, as if the tune is going D, A, and they're just passing notes on the way through. Okay, so like I say, don't be too mathematical looking at the sheet music for this. It's the feel of this that we convey. Okay, putting the, let's just do that bar again, just that right hand, bar 4, and there's another A to add in onto the end of this phrase. So 3 and 4 and the third finger on that final A all on its own. Okay, left hand there, either side of the red, middle C. So thumb on the D, finger 2 on the B. Da-dum, da-da-da-dum, bum. And so the left hand has jumped from being either side of there to a D octave at the base of your harp. And don't hang around getting to that lower note there. And then it's tied on, so you just let that ring. Okay, let's put that together, bar 4. So I've actually got B and D's on in both hands, but top hand's starting here and then going back on to do 4 in a row. Left hand's got much steadier beats underneath. So 3 and 4 and. Okay, let's put the last 2 bars together then, bar 3 into 4, and then we'll go back to the beginning of this section. So bar 3 was the BD going up, and left hand G, D, G, C, and notice how you can then place onto the D, and then the D octave jump. Okay, so beginning of bar 3, 3 and 4 and. An extra B in the left hand there. I was a bit eager. If you do things like that, as long as they're notes that belong into the chord of what you're playing, it's not the end of the world. Variation is fine. So let's go back to the beginning of today's section, the beginning of our piece for today, which is Ni and JaNEWary, and our right hand is on the B going to the E. Left hand is on the E going to the D. I keep wanting to place the A and the G as well, but they're harmonics, so it's a completely different hand shape. So I just have to have the E and the D placed. 3 and 4. Keep missing that low D, so I'm going to draw a big circle around it with my pencil. Important to mark up the piece however you need to mark it to make sure that you're playing it how it works. Let's fit that onto the end of what we did yesterday. Now, yesterday's piece that we were working on, an old Sky Air, the last bar there officially has got these 3 full beats before we move on, but it's a feel thing. So the timing of that doesn't need to be rigidly 3 beats and then you come in. You just go with how it feels, okay? So I'm going to play from yesterday's section, which is bar 14 of an old Sky Air, all the way through to the end of that, going straight onto the last bar, and then I'm going to go into this and you can just feel how that fits together. Yesterday's a little bit slower than today's, so there's that transition as well that impacts on how natural feeling that changes, that changeover. Okay, so 3 and 4 and. Last bit right there because I had a nice circle round reminding me. Brilliant, well done. Do have a go with the play along videos as well, where we'll play this a little bit slower and then you can build up the speed on it again. But the way that it feels, you kind of want to get it up to as fast as you can comfortably do it quite quickly. Well done.